Hey, my name is Steve, and welcome to part 3 of my series where I'm using AI to generate an expert advisor for trading prop firms. And the EA that we're using at the moment, or that we've generated, is using two indicators. That is moving averages, EMA 50 and 200, and also the MACD as well, MACD being for the entry points. So in today's video, we're going to go through the some modifications to the code. We're actually going to add a few more features to make this a little bit better and to give us some more control over the trade, such as trading times for starters. And let's have a look at the code for starters. Now, the first thing I want to do before I actually make any changes, I want to actually save the code as version 1, because we're going to make some changes to this today, and if we happen to mess up, we don't want to actually lose the actual progress we've made. So we're just going to go to the name of the EA and put version 1.00 and save. That way we've actually saved version 1.0. Now we're going to go back and open this again. This is the version we are actually working on now. So we can close the previous one that we just saved. Now we're going to modify this to version 1.01. I'll just compile to confirm that we've got no errors, and yeah, that's all good. There's no errors. Now we're going to use AI to create a new feature. I want to add a time filter to this one. So let's actually set up some groupings for the inputs for starters. And I've created a few groupings for the expert advisor just to sort of separate the settings on here. And one that we're working on now is the time filter. We're going to the idea, I guess, for starters, is we want to skip the period just after midnight broker time, 00 on the actual broker time, when the spreads go crazy. You could get spreads up to 50 pips at that point, and we don't want to be entering a trade for at least 1 hour or more from midnight until after everything actually starts to settle down a bit. So we can actually set the trading time for even the beginning of London trading, or after Asian starts, or even just New York time only. And we can actually set an end time as well, so that we can actually close all trades at the end of each day before it gets to midnight again on the broker time. So this is the settings we're adding now. I'm going to copy this and go to Claude AI and add the extra function to this one for the filter. I'm actually going to copy this all into a notepad so that I can just copy and paste the whole command in one go, instead of typing it and hitting enter and then adding a new line. Let's see what the AI comes up with here. Just generating the actual changes now. And we can see on the right hand side here that the code is actually being rewritten. Might take a minute and then we should be done. Great, this is everything that it's done now for what we've actually requested. So we're going to copy this code now and go back to our MetaTrader 5. I've actually made some changes at the top and I want to keep this, so I'm just going to paste the code, go back to the top of the screen, and then just remove this part here again. Now this is saved as version 1. We do have some errors, so I'm not sure what I've done here. Let me just put back what I've taken out. Okay, that's working. Now we did want to change this to version 1.01. We don't really need to leave this in the description, but hey, let's just do it for now. We'll leave the code as it has been generated from the AI. And next is to have a look at our MetaTrader 5 and to Control R, the strategy tester. We can use, let's see, pair that we already did our testing on was UJ. So let's do UJ. Go to settings. We can see here now that we've got our groups, which is what we just set up, and we've also added a time filter as well, entry time and exit time. So first thing I'm going to do is just do a test to start with to see that it actually works without any errors, and we can see here that it is actually working and making a profit. So with 1% risk and the settings that we were using when we actually created this one and saved the settings, we've actually made in that period of time, let's see, I think that is January 2024 up to the 31st of October 2025. So that is 1 year and 10 months. We've actually made a 70% gain just by using this one pair, UJ, and rating it with 1% risk. So I think this actually made a fair bit of difference. Let's just disable the start and entry time and just compare the difference. So we've got a 1.26 profit factor, and 7,040 is our earnings for this period. I just want to do the same now without the changes to see if it's better off with the time filter or without the time filter. Okay, so it actually created slightly more profit without the time filter. So that being the case, we can actually modify this time filter. And let's say (1 AM) for the start time and disable for the end time. Let's see if that makes any difference. That way, if a trade is open for more than 1 day, it will stay open. And that is 8,359. So I think I'm going to keep this one. We're just going to skip the trading time for the first hour, just so that we don't have to put up with the large spreads. I'll do one more test here. Just say close at 2300. See if it's better to close at the end of each day, or if we should just leave it running overnight, multiple days. And that really didn't make any difference, so we will leave that one in there as well. Okay, now the next test is visual mode. We want to see that it is actually following the rules correctly, entering and exiting at the correct times. Okay, this is 15:45, so the entry time was way after 1, which is, you know, just back here next to the overnight line. Let's check to see when it actually exits though, if that works. Okay, it didn't actually exit at 2300, so there is some sort of a bug in the code there that we need to sort out. Just check the history and we can see here that our profits are about 1.5R and we are losing 1% when we actually lose a trade. That part's all good. Now we need to analyze the code and see if we can figure out why it wasn't closing the trade and the exit time. The easiest way to find the actual code for this one is just Control F and hit find, and here it is. One thing I want to change in here, if it is the trade hour that we're entering, and instead of equals the exit minutes, so equal or greater than exit minute, and the entry time, let's see, I think that one is actually okay. I think this might be a line that we need to add. Actually, we can ask the AI to fix this for us, so let's go back to Claude. Let's see if Claude can modify the exit time. And to do this, we will just copy the code again. We'll go back to our editor and paste the new code. If we want to highlight this to modify it, just do Control A and then delete, and then Control V to actually paste. And again, I'm just going to make this version 0.01. Compile to make sure there's no errors. Now let's go back to the testing and see if it actually closes at 2300 like we would be faster to. Okay, that one actually missed the close time again, so I don't think it's working. Main thing is we want the option to hold it overnight or to close at the end of the day if we can. So that is only 1645 where that hit the take profit, that one. Just looking for a day when it actually holds overnight. There, so this is one, and it didn't close at the correct time. So let's have a look at the code again and see if we can figure out why. I'll go back to forward again. I'm just asking Claude if it can see why it isn't placing them at the desired time. Okay, Claude is making some changes again now. Alright, let's copy the code again. Delete the old, paste the new, compile, make sure there's no errors, everything is good. And let's go back to the strategy test again. See if this is going to work. And no, it didn't work again. So that's a little bit of a mystery, that one at the moment. I'm going to leave this for now. it's not a big deal, but I might be able to make the changes myself to this one. So if I can change it on myself, I will add it to the code and get back to you. But let's leave it at the moment. We do have entry points in here, so we shouldn't get any trades straight after midnight, which is the important thing. At the moment, we just want to avoid trading at the period when there's a high spread when we enter the trade. Just had a look through the code and made a few changes. I think the problem might actually be in the strategy tester itself, because I'm looking at the actual comments where they're happening, and we can see here exit time reached, closed position 2, and there it is, exit time reached, closed position 2. And I've got down here failed to sell, market closed. So it's attempted to close the trade, but it failed. And that could be just because we're in the strategy tester. So I'm going to leave that for now, and let's test that on our demo account and see how this actually works, if it is actually correct. It might actually be working okay. So just to go back to the code again before I tried messing around with it, I'm just going to update that again. Again, I just need to change it so that it says version 1 or 1.01 and compile. And that's it for today. That's all the changes I need to make right now. Here is the final code for version 1.01. The modifications we did today was added groupings to the actual inputs, just to spread them out a little bit, make it look a little bit better. We've also added entry and exit time filters, and we can actually disable that if we want to as well. Just to show you how the actual inputs work, just the changes on the inputs. You can see here we actually have now risk management group, the indicator settings, and also the time filter with the times. So that was the only change that we made for today. And now I will scroll through the code slowly so that you can capture this for yourself if you want to type it out manually, or screenshot it and maybe even use AI to recreate the code for you. That might be another good idea. And there we have the full code for today's version with the modifications. The next thing I want to do is copy the expert advisor over to my demo account. So to do that, we just go to open our data folder, and we have version 1.01 here. Now we're going to copy the one we've been working on, and then go to wherever we are hosting our expert advisors. Now I'm doing this on a demo account on a mini PC, which I keep running 24/7. So all we need to do is go into the expert folder, paste the code, overwrite the existing, now close MetaTrader, and when we reopen it again, we will actually find the changes that we have just made in here. So we can hit F7, look at the input, and we can see now we have our input categories, and we have our start time and finish times as well. Put down here to close at 2200 each day, and at the moment we just want to do this to see if it actually does work. If it does work correctly, then we don't need to make any changes. Then we can start thinking about the next modifications that we do for enhancing the system. Okay, so that's it for today. Hit the like and subscribe if you want to keep this series going. We are going to work on this particular EA to make it better and to get it trading for prop firms. But at the same time, we are going to start a new expert advisor in the next couple of weeks and using a different strategy, but we will use some of the same settings in this one as well, like the start and finish times and the prop firm rules that we need for the profit targets and for the stop outs. So leave some comments below, tell me what you think of what we're doing so far, and if you have any suggestions to make this a better process. I'd love to hear about it and maybe make some changes, especially if it's going to improve this trading bot.